tasted so good. Are you wondering why this video is different? I'll tell you. Wait. This is the first tea. And by the way, I'm drinking strawberry tea. I'm in Tirana, Albania. This is the first tea that I'm having since I survived a terrible accident this morning. Yes, but stay with me. I'll tell you. Very sweet tea. Now you see how tragedy makes us appreciate the very, very tiny details, and the little things of life. This morning, today, what's the time? Okay, it's about 4 minutes past 1 p.m. Albanian time. I was supposed to be in Ohrid, North Macedonia by now. We're going to make a stop at Progradec. I think it's called Progradec. We're going to go see the lake, Lake Ohrid on the Albanian side, and then I was going to cross the border to North Macedonia and also see the lake. And then there was another city. I'll probably find the name. So today I was supposed to be in Ohrid, North Macedonia, and then I left Tirana by 7:15. It was going to be about the journey was going to be a little over 2 hours, maybe. Let's just call it 3 hours, to get to the to get Ohrid. And 2 hours into the journey, I think this was about 9:09, maybe. I didn't check the exact time when it happened, but I would say between 9 o'clock and 9:15, I was involved in a terrible accident. I haven't called my mom yet. I'm not calling her. I'm not telling her anything until I get back to Nigeria. But I'll tell you, times like this, we often, wonder if really we make the right choices at all times. But I think we do. And even when we don't, there's a power that actually thrives, works in us, that actually leads us if we pay attention. Don't worry, I'm not going very spiritual on you, but the reason why I'm saying this is because most times when I do all the things that I do, even when I do it afraid, there's always a silver lining. It always gets to the point where I do believe in God, it's no secret that I believe in God. There's always that feeling. I always check my peace level. And normally, if I'm afraid and then I check my peace level and it's okay, then I do it. Trusting that, God will guide me through, because, hey, He gives me the vision. He gives me everything that I know. He, He makes that possible. Through Him, I am able to do all the things that I do, be creative. That's God, working in me. So I always get in touch with that inner person, inner man. But then this morning, I recall, normally when I wake up in the morning, just like everyone else, we tell ourselves, oh, we say a prayer every morning we wake up, but life gets in the way. So no, I do not remember to say a prayer every day. When I remember, yes, I do say a prayer. But there are certain times where something just knocks on you and says, hey, you need to do this. You need to pay attention to this. And this morning was one of those days. I've been wanting to go to Ohrid since I got here. But finding the right time to go was a problem. And then I had to get because I didn't want, I'm traveling during the pandemic. I'm also trying to be very careful. Basically, I just hired a private tour guide, to drive me from Albania to North, Macedonia. And he was going to take me there today. And yes, we set out, but we never got there. Like I told you about that inner man, it reminded me in the morning, just before I got into the shower, to say a prayer. I forgot. So because the moment I was informed that my ride was downstairs, I was hurrying, just to make it out in good time. So I got there few minutes into the journey, I got that inner man, say to me, oh, you haven't said a prayer, that prayer. So I just said, okay, God, take the wheel, less of me and more of you. And then we continued. We're driving around, just by the mountains. The roads were very narrow, and I think that road is like a death trap during the winter. Maybe during the summer it's a lot easier, but during the winter it's scary. But because I have seen those kind of roads traveling, let's say from Bosnia to Montenegro, it's just about the same thing. I didn't feel comfortable, but I had to go. And then he wasn't speeding. So this wasn't a case of, oh, he was rough. No, he wasn't speeding, because you can't really speed on that road because of the roads are really narrow, and then they have like really sharp bends where you have like the valley, and the river, by that side. And of course you have the mountains, on this other side. And then I remember we just got out of the curve because we were chatting as well, as we went along. We got out, we just turned off from a curve. And the next thing, the tires started shaking. At that point in time, I think I would think is the condition of the road, because he lost control of the vehicle. And as a smart guy, if he had tilted towards the right, we probably would have gone over to the valley and then the river. But he couldn't control the car, so all he had to do was try and tilt it to the left. So maybe the mountain to the left would actually kind of give him that, stop or whatever. I can't put my thoughts together. I just had an accident. Leave me. Maybe that was going to stop the vehicle or whatever. And then he did that. And then I just saw that happen. And then I don't remember if I was, I don't think we screamed, but I know I was present in the moment. I have never had an accident before. That's the closest I have been to an accident. And I thought I was going to die, really, because he could not control it. And then he went, and then I think the car hit, that, the side of the mountain, and then the car somersaulted. I said I was present. Everything happened this fast, and then we somersaulted, and then of course I was upside down. I had my seatbelt on, so I was still strapped. At the end of the day, I think the car ended up this way, him down there and then me on top, still sitting. And then of course I had my seatbelt holding me, keeping me tight. And then I had to struggle. The moment everything went calm, so it was a case of, okay, am I in the land of the living or the dead? And then I heard him speak. He said something like, oh, are you okay? And I'm like, oh, okay. We're here. So I started feeling my hands and then feeling my legs, and then everything was fine. So I looked down, and then I saw him there. He was afraid. I could see fear, and I probably had fear, in front of, like on my face. And then the next thing I started thinking, I don't know, maybe I watched too many movies. I started thinking, oh, cars used to explode. This is the time we should run out before the car explodes. And then I started panicking, like trying to go out. And of course I had to, because the car ended up this way, I had to try to push the door open, and gravity, oh baby. Gravity wasn't helping me. Then he just kept telling me, no, calm down. I'm like, calm down, bro. This car might explode, so I need to go out. And then I struggled out of the car. I have never experienced anything like that in all my years of traveling. And then luckily people that were also traveling on the highway, because we're in the middle of nowhere, they got out of the car, of their cars, and then they came out to help us. So they had to lift me out of the vehicle, and then because I started checking my body to see if everything's intact. And then in less than 10 minutes, I think the police arrived, and then the ambulance came. So obviously they checked me. I was panicking. They checked me and they saw everything was fine. And we got a towing truck as well to, tow Mimi's car. Then Albie came all the way from Tirana to meet us. It's like we're less than an hour away from the North Macedonian border. So like we're almost there. At that point in time, I was going to say, well, I didn't die, so let's continue this journey. But of course I thought it was insensitive because his car was, his car wasn't really damaged. There wasn't really, the impact was more on the side, because that's all that happened. There was no car coming. So luckily for us, there was no car coming at us. And then probably the one behind us was careful enough to slow down. So the damage on his car wasn't so, evident. But of course, the damage it did to me. So, of course, I got back to Tirana. And, well, obviously, I'm not going to North Macedonia this time. I remember when I was planning this trip, normally I always neglect to buy travel insurance, especially unless it is required by the destination that I'm visiting. But this particular trip, because of the uncertainty surrounding so many things, the pandemic, everything, I took that really seriously. And so I got a travel insurance. I got a 1-year travel insurance because I was like, okay, it was cheaper to pay for 1 year rather than pay for 3 months. So I just thought, okay, let me do 1 year. So since I'm traveling, I will be traveling later in the year. I wouldn't have to do it again. And so these are some of the things we need to consider, when we're traveling. And then also, it wasn't a very sunny day. Albania experiences more sunny days than in a year. So tomorrow was going to be a better day, but for whatever reason I chose to go today. No regrets though. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm not dead. But there's certain safety measures that we should always take when we're traveling, and I'll be sharing that on the blog. And also travel insurance, why you should have a travel insurance when you're traveling. You should have it. So thank you for watching. My name is Otto Tom. I'm a Nigerian traveling in Albania. I'm a travel content creator, and I'm also a full-time corporate lawyer practicing with a litigation and commercial law firm in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. So there you have it. My story, my life. I'm thankful that I'm here. It could have been different. It could have been worse than this.